Welcome to the Padres Postgame Show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. We'll take a trip down to the manager's office to hear from Mike Shildt. Plus, we'll bring you scores from around Major League Baseball. The Padres Postgame Show starts now on the Padres Radio Network.
We are live here at Petco Park. Padres fall 9-3 in this series finale against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Diamondbacks score 9 runs on 15 hits. Padres get 3 runs on 7 hits, including a couple of home runs. Padres drop to 34-35 on the year. Arizona leaves town 31-35. These two teams split this 4-game series. Arizona bookending this series with wins. Padres win on Friday and Saturday, but they do split this 4-game set, and now the Padres will welcome in the A's for the start of a 3-game series tomorrow. A lot to do on our post-game coverage. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll also have all the radio highlights for you, recap this game in its entirety, but quickly, the story here was basically Adam Mazur, a tough outing for him in his second major league start, his Petco Park debut. He was tagged with 8 earned runs in just 3 innings of work here today. Padres fell behind early. They were down 7-1 after just an inning and a half. It looked for a little bit like they could chip away, maybe come back in this game early. Diamondbacks then ended up extending the lead to 9-3, and really after that, no more runs were scored. So the Diamondbacks took an early lead, and they hang on for a nice win for Arizona today, 9-3, and the Padres will try to regroup and hit the ground running against Oakland tomorrow. Much more to do on our post-game coverage. We'll recap this game in its entirety when we come back. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, and much more post-game coverage coming up after this. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Tough one for the Padres here today. Final score, Diamondbacks 9 and the Padres 3. These two teams split this 4-game series. Diamondbacks winning on Thursday. Padres returning the favor on Friday and Saturday. Big offensive days. And here today, a mix of not great pitching for the Padres from their starter, Adam Mazur. Offense, aside from a couple of big swings, pretty quiet in this one. 3 runs on 7 hits total, and the Padres fall here today by a final score of 9-3. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a handful of minutes, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's recap this one in its entirety.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
Padres right-hander Adam Mazur took the mound for his second Major League start in Petco Park debut. There were runners on first and second for D-backs first baseman Christian Walker in the first.
1-2, Walker swings, lines it sharply into left field. Profar charges it, plays it on a hop. Gonna wave Carroll, he's on his way. Throw to the plate is up the first base line. An RBI single for Christian Walker, and the Diamondbacks take a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Mazur did a nice job limiting the damage to just that single run. In the bottom half, Fernando Tatis Jr. dug in.
1 out, nobody on. The 2-1 pitch. Fernando swings, hits it in the air to deep center field. Carroll's back to watch. This one gonna go! Tatis ties it with 1 swing in the first inning. His second homer of the series. And what a way to set a new career high. 15-game hitting streak for Fernando, and he does it in style.
His 12th home run of the year, and like Jesse alluded to, a career-high 15-game hitting streak for Fernando Tatis Jr. as he continues to be red hot. But the game was not tied for long. Mazur got into more trouble in the second. The bases were loaded for Jock Peterson.
Here's the 1-1. Peterson hits a ground ball through the right side into base hit. Newman has scored. Carroll's being waved. Fernando comes up firing the throw to the plate. Not in time. A 2-run single for Jock Peterson, and the Diamondbacks back in front. It's 3-1.
Mazur struck out Christian Walker for out number 2, but then it was Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
2-1 hit hard and over Solano, a fair ball down the left field line. That's going to cause some more trouble. Marte has scored. Peterson being waved. Kim will make a relay to the plate, and he is safe! Campusano had the ball waiting for him. Jock slid in feet first, and they must have just missed the tag. The home plate umpire, Charlie Ramos, really had his nose right in there, and he called him safe without hesitation. We'll see if the Padres challenge it. They will not.
Jake McCarthy was next.
Here's the 1-1. And McCarthy hits it in the air deep down the right field line towards the Petco porch. This one gonna go. Just snuck it over the yellow line for Jake McCarthy. And just like that, it is 7-1.
It was a 6-run second inning for the D-backs. The Padres then started to slowly chip away. They loaded the bases with nobody out in the bottom of the second against D-backs lefty Tommy Henry. With 1 out and the bases still loaded, it was Luis Campusano.
And that's a hard hit liner into left field. Gurriel charging, not going to be able to make the catch. Solano will come in to score. That'll be all. Throw comes in a little bit wildly towards the plate, but the catcher Moreno able to get to it in foul territory. RBI single Campusano. 7-2 game. Bases still loaded. Still just 1 out. And now the top of the order coming up.
Padres had momentum, but then Luis Ariz hit into an inning-ending double play. The Padres still trailed 7-2, but they continue to chip away a little bit in the bottom half of the third, courtesy of Jerks and Profar.
1-1 to Profar, hit in the air. Deep down the left field line, Gurriel over to watch. Gonna go! Lower balcony, Western Metal. Profar is 10th of the year. Padres with their second home run of the afternoon, and now a 7-3 game here in the third.
But the problem was the Diamondbacks answered. Adam Mazur walked the leadoff man in the 4th inning. Johnny Brito entered. Brito would give up 4 consecutive singles in the inning. D-backs scored 2 runs to make it 9-3. And believe it or not, that 9-3 lead, after 3.5 innings, that would end up being our final score in this game. Both bullpens from that point forward did a really nice job. Brito would settle in. He went 3 innings, 1 run given up. Stephen Kolek, 2 innings out of the bullpen. Yuki Matsui, a scoreless scoreless innings, so the Padres bullpen in the middle and late innings did a good job keeping it 9-3. The problem was that the Padres, after the Profar home run, they didn't do anything offensively. Quite a pitching day for Arizona as they used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers to get through this game. Scott McGuff, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run given up. Tommy Henry got the win, 2 innings and a third, 2 runs given up. From that point on, it was Kevin Ginkel, Joe Manaply, Justin Martinez, Ryan Thompson, and Bryce Jarvis. All scoreless appearances, and that was that here today. Final score, Arizona 9 and San Diego 3. Padres and D-backs split this 4-game series. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, what did you see with Adam today?
Well, some base hits, some balls found holes. That was part of it. Didn't look like didn't have as good a command as he had maybe last time. More mental mistakes. But, like I said, a ground ball away from getting out of innings last time out, so trying to figure him out a little bit. Don't have a lot of history with him. He got in a little bit of traffic early. With your starter, you got to trust him. And he got 4 ground balls, double play balls. Today, didn't get the double play balls. Balls were hit at people, or not at people, and they gave the ball down the line. Then McCarthy got him for the homer. But before that, it wasn't a ton of damage. It was just command.
It seems like control's not been an issue for him. He was a big strike thrower down in the minors. That's different than command, obviously.
Yep.
Is the command something that's just maybe with the butterflies and adrenaline that might come with the first couple of outings here?
Yeah, that's what we're finding out about guys, right? You find out about guys in the big leagues. He's got some AAA time. He did a nice job his first outing, but you're dead spot on, different coming out of the bullpen maybe with command versus, control, and put it where you want to, but he showed ability to make some pitches, just didn't make as many as consistently as he did too. And like I said, he got himself in a hole with some balls, finding some holes.
A couple weeks ago, Fernando talked about wanting to be more selective in the strike zone and doing damage with pitches that he could do damage with, and it seems like he has started to do that. Like, how have you seen that kind of evolve in the last couple weeks for him?
Yeah, I don't think it's going back to the beginning of the year where he did that exceptionally well and had success and got off to a good start, and then continued to do it and barreled a lot of balls at people, and everybody was wanting results, which I get. And then he changed his approach, trying to get the results with a little more chase. Now he's back to everything looks really simple for him, getting balls he can handle. Swing looks great. He's getting barrel of the ball, and the ball's just jumping off his bat. He looks great.
An update on Manny? Is there anything new since yesterday?
He would have been available today for the right spot. We just couldn't find the right spot, to fire him off. But he's in a good spot. Had another good day yesterday because we didn't talk before the game. Had a really good day today. Like I said, he's available today. I'll go back in and take the temperature about what the lineup looks like tomorrow.
Does that mean he's probably trending toward maybe something?
He's trending, definitely trending towards getting back and playing.
The play at the play in the second inning, Campisano has to give the lane up.
Correct.
How do you evaluate how that play went off, though, what he can do or not do? Like, just how do you evaluate?
Well, he doesn't have a lot to do anymore. He's got to give him the plate, and so everything's going to the benefit of the offense and the runner. So, had a chance to look at it. Technically, I think he, in first blush, looking at it live, did everything right by letter of the law.
And then you had your chances against their bullpen game. When they settle in, throwing the different arms, that's just kind of tough to get into a rhythm at that point when you're seeing different pitchers every inning.
Yeah, it can be. We had our chances to your first point and just couldn't capitalize on that big hit to really get us back into it. But I liked our bats, and I felt like our approach was good against every reliever. I thought our bats, it can be a benefit, when you face a lot of different arms, to have to, figure out what that looks like and have different looks. But we also have history with some of these guys, and I felt really good that the whole game our guys stayed on point with what they were seeing, and I didn't feel like man, this is a different look, and we're not seeing this guy well. I felt like we saw him, had good at bats, had traffic, couldn't cash in, got a few runs there, but I thought for a bullpen game we were on point. I was really pleased with that.
And it wasn't consequential in the outcome yesterday or today, but Stephen Kolek has had a couple of nice back-to-back outings, and after not pitching for a while, it seems like he learned something out of that tough one in Kansas City. At least that's what he's expressed on the side. Are you seeing some of that, and how much can that maybe help him moving forward?
Absolutely seeing it, and big help. And I'm glad you brought it up, because sometimes there's silver linings to the darker cloud. Like today wasn't our, it didn't work out for us. But for Kolek to go 2 last night, had to push him a little bit for that second one today, but he was efficient. And when you can be efficient, you can get and ride a little bit longer. The stuff's elite. He's got really good stuff. I mean, it's just the metrics will tell you, but you watch the game, it'll tell you in some of the swings. So good for him. He's able to control counts for the most part, throwing in for effect. I thought he did a nice job. Brito did another nice job as well. Those are huge innings for us. You don't want to get in that bullpen. It's always a slippery slope, right? Like, yeah, you want to go for it, but starter, give him the benefit of the doubt. Didn't work out for us, but then Johnny comes in, eats up multiple innings, and your point, Steven eats up 2 and sets us up for the next couple of days.
Was there a conversation with Kolek about his availability today after going 2 innings yesterday?
Yeah, there's availability. Talk with all the guys about their availability, but again, 2 innings. It's a different era, right? Like we ask questions about a guy get 2 innings and can he be available, and so and rightfully so. We're always going to take care of the guys, and if they give any, feedback that they can't go, we don't pitch them, because I value their careers more than I'm going to value a game, unless it's Game 7 of World Series, and that's a little different scenario. We may have to push a little bit more, like really push, but Madison Bumgarner style, but. Yeah, he was available to go. He was efficient yesterday and said he, played catch and was ready to rock. He didn't have any work before that, to Scan's point earlier, so he was able to take the ball. And we got to a point talking to Ruben, like, where are we comfortable? And, he stayed within those parameters.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after today's game. Padres fall 9-3 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about this game, give out some of our daily awards, full out-of-town scoreboard coming up as well, and we will get you ready for the series opener between the Padres and the A's tomorrow here in downtown San Diego. More post-game coverage after this. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here today, Arizona 9 and San Diego 3. Padres and Diamondbacks split this 4-game series. Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Every Sunday is Military Sunday, and we want to take time to recognize and thank all military members for their amazing dedication and service. San Diego County Toyota dealers, proud partners of the Padres, are honored to support San Diego's military community. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the relief pitcher of the game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Our relief pitcher of the game here today, we'll keep it on the Padres side of things. Keep it positive because the Padres did have a couple of guys do a nice job. Really all three relievers out of the bullpen today did a pretty nice job. Johnny Brito did come in, allow an inherited run and then one run of his own to score in the 4th inning. But he did go 3 innings, 1 run given up. But for relief pitcher of the game, you heard Mike Shildt talk about him in the post-game press conference. How about Stephen Kolek? Nice job here today. 2 scoreless innings, gave up a couple of hits, 28 pitches total. That was after he threw 2 scoreless innings last night, 27 pitches. So last 2 games, 4 scoreless innings for Stephen Kolek. And look, obviously the outing in Kansas City in that series opener, the Padres hung on in that game. Obviously that was a really tough outing for Kolek, but bouncing back the way he has last night and tonight, hopefully a sign of things to come for Stephen Kolek, and doing what he did last night and here today, hey, it saves an arm or two in that bullpen, right? So nice job by Stephen Kolek. He'll be our relief pitcher of the game here today. Before we continue on with our daily awards, just to point out, really I thought 2 pretty key spots in this game. And we'll start with in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Remember, the Padres are trailing 7-1 heading into the bottom half of the 2nd. They end up loading the bases. Luis Campusano, RBI single to make it 7-2. They still have the bases loaded with 1 out. Luis Ariz came up, and look, there's nobody else you want up in that spot other than Luis. Maybe Fernando with the way he's swinging it right now, and he was on deck. But you know Luis is going to give you a great at-bat and has a great chance to continue the inning and score some runs and get a base hit there. And Ariz grounded into a double play, unfortunately, and it sort of took the air out of the balloon in that inning. So that was one spot in this game where the Padres, they were starting to chip away. You had a feeling like that could have been a really big 2nd inning. Padres ended up just getting 1 run in that 2nd. Then Jurickson Profar made it 7-3 with a solo home run in the bottom half of the 3rd. So again, bullpen day for the D-backs. You just felt like this game was a long way from over. But this was another key inning in this game, and it was the top of the 4th inning where Adam Mazur, who had had a rough afternoon to that point, came back out, walked the leadoff man. Johnny Brito came in. Brito struck out the first batter he faced, but then ends up giving up 4 consecutive singles. In the process, 2 more runs score, and it went from a 7-3 game where the Padres had cut it from a 6-run deficit to a 4-run deficit, back out to a 6-run deficit when it's 9-3. After that top half of the 4th inning. So just to focus on 2 innings there that I thought were really sort of critical in this game. The bottom half of the 2nd, the Ariz double play, it just felt like that could have been a big inning. And then the top of the 4th inning, Padres unable to get the shutdown inning after they had made it 7-3. And so that 9-3 final score ended up being, or I should say the 9-3 score ended up being the final score in this game. So, look, you felt like early there was a chance for things to get a little bit crazy this afternoon as far as a comeback, just because the Padres had plenty of time. They were chipping away, and you knew the Diamondbacks were in the midst of a bullpen day, but credit to the D-backs bullpen. Did a good job in this game, and they secure a 9-3 win. When we come back, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll tell you about our player of the game. Much more to do on our post-game coverage after this on the Padres Radio Network. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here today, Diamondbacks 9, Padres 3. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Padres fall to 34-35 on the season. Diamondbacks leave town 31-35. Padres welcoming in the A's for the start of a 3-game series tomorrow. We'll have more on tomorrow's game coming up in just a little bit. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard in a moment as well. Let's tell you about today's player of the game.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Patties and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
1-1 to Profar, hit in the air. Deep down the left field line. Gurriel over to Watch. Gonna go! Lower balcony, Western Metal. Profar is 10th of the year. Padres with their second home run of the afternoon. And now a 7-3 game here in the third.
Jurickson Profar will be our player of the game here today on the Padres Radio Network. Another good day for Pro. 2 hits, including a home run. Profar hitting his 10th home run of the season. He continues to be outstanding. Jurickson ends the day batting .325 on the year. And a note about his home run, like I said, number 10 on the season. That already surpasses his total from last season. He now has 10 home runs in 69 games this year. He hit 9 home runs in 125 games in 2023. 4th time he's recorded double-digit home runs in his career. So, stay on the Padres for player of the game tonight. And with that home run, made it 7-3. You really felt, at least I felt, like the Padres were chipping away and would have a real shot to get back in this thing. But like we said earlier, Diamondbacks responded with 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. That made it 9-3. And the D-backs go on to win by that final score. A lot of action today around the majors. Let's take a look at the full out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the Bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
We take a look at scores today from around the major leagues. We have 1 game still going on right now. The Yankees trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of the Dodgers in the Bronx. The Yankees leading 1-0 in the 3rd. Good pitching matchup there. Luis Gil on the mound for New York. Tyler Glasnow on the mound for L.A. Everything has gone final. Mets came back to beat the Phillies today 6-5 in London. Mets taking a lead in the 9th inning in that game. And then just a great play by former Padre Luis Torrens. If you haven't seen it, really, one of the finer double plays you'll see turned by a catcher ever. Got a force out at home with the bases loaded, tying run on third base, threw down to first base to end the game. Really impressive. Mets beat the Phillies 6-5. Rangers beat the Giants 7-2 in Arlington. Braves fell to the Nationals 8-5 in D.C. Keibert Ruiz, a 3-run home run in that game for the Nats. Twins beat the Pirates in 10, 11-5. Orioles beat the Rays 9-2 in Tampa Bay. Adley Rutschman, a grand slam in that one for the O's. Cubs beat the Reds 4-2 in Cincinnati. Guardians over the Marlins 6-3 in Miami. Tyler Freeman, a go-ahead 3-run home run in that one for the Guards. Tigers beat the Brewers 10-2 in Detroit. Red Sox beat the White Sox in 10, 6-4. Mariners edged by the Royals in 10, 6-5 in Kansas City. Julio Rodriguez driving in the go-ahead run for Seattle in the 10th inning. Cardinals beat the Rockies 5-1 in St. Louis. Angels beat the Astros 9-7 in Anaheim in what was a crazy ending. Another play you got to see today. This was a Logan O'Hoppe walk-off 2-run home run to break a 7-7 tie. But the left fielder for the Astros, I think it was Trey Cabbage, Cabbage, went back towards the short wall in the left field corner. It appeared like he caught it initially, but then lost it as his glove went over the fence. It was a home run, and everybody on the field was confused. It looked like he made the catch, but it ended up being a 2-run walk-off home run for O'Hoppe. Angels beat the Astros 9-7 in walk-off fashion. Blue Jays beat the A's 6-4 in 10 in Oakland. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, a 3-run double to put the Blue Jays ahead in that 10th inning. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Sunday. Score here at Petco Park today, Diamondbacks 9, Padres 3. We'll hear our play of the game when we come back on the Padres Radio Network. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score today, Arizona 9 and San Diego 3 as the Padres and D-backs split this 4-game series. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Let's hear today's play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's play of the game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Here's the 1-1, and McCarthy hits it in the air deep down the right field line towards the Petco porch. This one gonna go. Just snuck it over the yellow line for Jake McCarthy, and just like that, it is 7-1.
We kept it Padres related for most of our awards today, but play of the game, give it to a D-back. Jake McCarthy, 2-run home run, made it 7-1, and it felt like that one not necessarily put the game out of reach, but certainly made it a very, very tall mountain for the Padres offense to climb in this game. McCarthy, a big day, 3 hits, a home run, 2 RBIs. Gave the D-backs a 7-1 lead with that home run, so that is today's play of the game. It was a tough second inning for Adam Mazur, who had a tough outing in his second Major League start. Final line for Mazur, 3 innings, 8 earned runs given up. And you look at that second inning, just to recap it one more time for you, and you really feel like it could have gone a little bit differently for Mazur. He got the first out of the inning. Remember, there was that ball that was on the infield, it's eluding my mind who it was hit to now. I'd have to go back in the play-by-play. It was originally ruled an out at first base. Luis Arraez making the stretch to get it. It was overturned on replay. It was Solano. Yeah, Solano moving to his left. It escaped my brain for a moment. Solano moving to his left, and Solano spun, threw a little bit wide to first base. Arraez looked like he stayed on the bag. In fact, the initial call at first base was out. Am I getting that right? Why can't I remember anything today? I think the initial call was out, and then on replay it was. And then on replay, they overturned that call after the Diamondbacks challenged it, and it was a good challenge. I bring it up to say this. If Arraez somehow kept his foot on the bag, and it was not Luis's fault. He just couldn't stretch far enough and keep the foot on the bag. It was not a great throw by Solano on what was a fairly tough play. But think about it this way. Instead of a runner on first base, one out, there are 2 outs, nobody on. Who knows how that inning ultimately goes? But for Major, after that, it was a walk, a single, a 2-run single. He did strike out the second batter, so he did have an opportunity to keep it just a 2-run inning, but then things sort of unraveled. The 2-run double, the 2-run home run from McCarthy, and it went in the span of a few batters from being a 3-1 game to a 7-1 game, and hopefully some lessons learned from Adam Major here today, because a tough second major league outing for him. Again, his final line, 3 runs, or I should say 3 innings and 8 runs given up. So we'll see. You'd imagine with the Padres still needing, we'll see how it all shakes out with the rotation, because, we have to see what the status is of Yu Darvish in the coming days. Obviously Randy Vasquez has been pretty good over his last 3 starts in the major leagues, so there's some decision-making as far as what the Padres are going to do moving forward when and if Yu Darvish comes back, and we'll see how they work things out with the rotation. But so far for Major, one really solid outing in Anaheim where he was able to work around the walks and some different things, but a tough one here today for the young right-hander. All right, taking a look ahead to tomorrow. First pitch in Game 1 of a 3-game series against the A's at 6:40. Our starting pitching matchup tomorrow, right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, right-hander Joey Estes on the mound for Oakland. First pitch again at 6:40. Pre-game coverage with me begins from inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park at 5:40. As always, if you missed any of our post-game show, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt. You can find it on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can always go on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and catch up, watch, listen to any part of our post-game show there. Taking a look at the final totals here today for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 9 runs, 15 hits, 1 error. They left on 8. For the Padres, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left on 8 as well. Tommy Henry, the winner, he's 2-2. The losing pitcher today, Adam Major, who drops to 0-1. Time of game, 3 hours and 1 minute. And the crowd here at Petco Park, the 20th sellout of the season, 41,979. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 6:40. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:40. Until then, for our studio coordinator, Frank Marchese, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from downtown San Diego. Again, the final score here today, the Arizona Diamondbacks 9 and the San Diego Padres 3. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Petco Park on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great rest of your Sunday.